right, hello everybody. I believe this is recording now. So welcome back to my channel. This is Saif Sakalala, and I'm very glad that you're joining me again on this on my humble channel here. Okay, so today I'm gonna get right into it. I've been meaning to do this video for quite a while, and I've been publishing myself as well as my colleagues in Flask, which I'm going to tell you all about today. I've been promising to do this for quite a bit, and I haven't gotten a chance to do it. So I'm very happy to finally have a chance to do it. And my intention is for this to be a brief video. I don't want to like bore you to death, droning on and on and on. I do intend to make other videos similar to it or deeper dive, so to speak, okay, to talk about like the various aspects of Flask and and what we do. But today, this is meant to be strictly just an intro video into about Flask, and then as I tell you about Flask, I have to first give you a little bit of an intro about Code for Philly as well, okay. And so the three main items we're going to be covering, just to go over number one, what Code for Philly is, okay, what Code for Philly is, and then what Flask is, okay, here you go. So I'm just giving you a preview of everything, all right, minimize that, and then that's the first part. The second part is I'm going to be talking about the tools that we use in Code for Philly, okay, and first part, and one tool being Slack, okay, that's the kind of like the main tool that we use, and then GitHub, and to a lesser extent we also use we have a shared folder in Google Drive. We like I believe it's just one circle. That's the Civic Circle that maybe uses the most of it. And this is my own a Google Drive home. But really the main tools that we use are Slack and then GitHub. Okay, and I'll tell you about those. And then finally, the other tool that we use is there's a wide variety of like video or rather excuse me of I believe the right term is IDEs, code editors, right? But VS Code is my personal preferred, and a lot of us, I believe, I don't know, like I want to say maybe 80 something, 88, maybe 90% of folks prefer VS Code from my personal experience. That's not scientific, don't quote me on that. But VS Code is like another, you do need a code editor, okay, and to do the work that we do. All right, let's just jump right into it. And number one, let me just tell you a little bit about Code for Philly and Flask, okay? So, what is Code for Philly? Code for Philly is a chapter of so there's as the name implies, code meaning software development, right? We're volunteers. It's a volunteer group in Philadelphia, all right? But there's other groups all over the country, right? And what we do is we do volunteer work with software engineering, with software development for different causes. So for instance, in Code for Philly, this is Flask. This is what I'm going to be talking about, my own group, okay, the group with which I'm with. And then you have PAWS, you have Philadelphia Lawyers for Social Equity, you have Choose Native Plants PA, right? And so these are the different initiatives. I do know that there's another one like that's not listed on here yet, the Balancer Project. But basically, again, just the main point is we use software development, coding to just kind of help various causes to just improve our city and our world at large. Via just apps and software development, etc. Now, one thing that's very important to emphasize here, and I love how they have it here very clearly marked, right? In this big font at the very top, at the beginning, you don't need coding experience. So, Code for Philly and just another chapters like it in different cities, they're very ideal for folks that are you're trying to break into the world of coding. Maybe your career changer, or you might already be a software engineer, but maybe you don't have that much experience yet. So it's very important to emphasize this right here. No coding experience is required. And I'm going to get into detail with Flask, for instance, the fact that with my group, with our group Flask, There's so much other work that you can do in addition to coding itself. Okay, but you can also then in the process just get your feet wet and start taking on tickets, etc., and just kind of like just actually doing coding work, like real coding work, which then enhances your resume. All right, and then what is Flask? So Flask, maybe I can just read a little bit of what's on here because it's a really nice brief intro. A very sufficient intro. Oops, looks like I went back by mistake there. Let me just open it in a new window that way. It's not gonna, I'm not gonna just make that mistake again. All right, so Flask. What is Flask? Flask is a play on, first of all, name. What is, the name is a play on PHL is like the acronym for the city of Philadelphia, like the airport, for instance. Okay, and then, ask. So when you add PHL with ASK, it's a play on Flask. So you know how you have a flask with a letter F as in fox, and then LASK, flask. Well, what our project is about is we started off first intending to just to encourage folks to cut down on the use of bottled water. Okay, because even though we try to do recycling with plastics and other recyclable products, but at the end of the day, especially plastics, tend to be really a huge menace to our world, to the ecosystems of the world, to the earth, to the oceans, etc., etc. Okay, and so the idea of Flask, and let me just pull up the end product, really the web app. Okay, and to get to it, all you gotta do is just type in flask.me, flask.me. And so the idea is you're outside, and right now, for instance, we're going through a heat wave in the United States, right? You're outside in Philadelphia, and we encourage you to, you have your own water bottle. Sometimes you might not even have your own water bottle. For instance, like if you walk into a Starbucks, maybe not all of them, but I think they usually try. My experience, Starbucks, they're usually very nice about kind of just when you walk in off the street and you're not buying a cappuccino or whatever, but they're very good about kind of just being nice and just if you want some water, giving you like giving you one of their disposables. And but preferably you want to have your own water bottle. You go in there, you look for a source, you look for a place on the map in Philadelphia where you can get clean, fresh drinking water, and you go in there, refill your bottle. Okay, so we started off with water being the focus, right? But then eventually we realized that guess what? Folks also, while you're out there, a lot of businesses don't allow you to use the bathrooms, for instance, right? Like, and then, so you drink water, you're gonna have to, right? Like, to do it, number one, right? Sometimes, you just use the bathroom. And so we then expanded the focus to food as well. So here you go. So you have search for taps. It says that right here. I think you can see it clearly on my screen. I'm trying to expand that, but you can't quite see it. And then we also expanded it to food. So for instance, there's food banks. Like if you need a food bank, you can kind of just look on the map for that, and foraging as well. So like these parks and these other places that are public lands where you are allowed to go forage for fruit and other like maybe edible plants, veggie, maybe some plants that are edible, and so you can do that. So this map right here, this is the Flask app. This is what we do. It's a web app, and that's us in a nutshell. Okay, moving right on. What are the tools that we use? So after you look up, so for instance, if you want to get involved, all you gotta do, like the way I got here to this portal is, I just went to Google, typed in Code for Philly, and then it's gonna bring you over here. Hey, if you don't, our project, it sounds interesting, but then there's others that you'd like better, by all means, check them out and just get involved. After but if you you click on ours right here, eventually you'll find links somewhere, project web page. You see down here, project web page, and then I'm going to talk about Slack and GitHub. So these are the main tools that we use to do our work. So first, Slack. More than likely, you might already use Slack for your job. And so if you do, well, great, then you know how Slack works. If not, you can join it. It's user friendly. If you use Facebook and these other portals, or even TikTok or whatever, I promise Slack is not hard to use. Or some of us might use Discord, for instance, if you're a gamer or you just use Discord to message with your friends and stuff. Okay. All right. So Slack is what we use, and just to tell you a little bit about the structure of our group, we are organized in what we call circles, and these are basically like different teams, right? The civic team is what is in charge of like kind of just overall organization and coordination, project management, outreach, public outreach, etc., etc. Okay, and then you have the design. These are the folks that do the cool work of actually designing what the app looks like. The Figma, the wireframes and whatnot. Figma, they use that and these other things as well. Okay, and then the dev circle. Dev circle, you know, there's a team effort, so like no one circle is more important than the other. I'm gonna say, oh, this one circle does more work than the other. But the dev circle is the one that actually then does that implements the code. So the design circle, comes up with designs, and then the dev circle, which I'm part of now. I've been part of the civic circle as well, and I do help out with civic as well. For instance, with this video, technically, it's kind of like a civic initiative. The dev folks are the ones that then do the development, right? Like what you see here, this is the app, the live app. And we're gonna get into the next tool, which is GitHub. How do we make that happen? GitHub and the code editor. All right, now GitHub is then what we use for source control. Now here I'm on my profile, but I'm gonna go to the Flask map repo. Okay, this is the central repo. Okay, Flask is our group. Okay, and then from our group, you click in the repo, the main repo, the Flask map repo, and then here, this is where we just push all the updates. Okay, this is where the magic happens, so to speak. Where just like this is where we have the code base, okay, so to speak. Now, while I'm here, there's something very, very important that I want to emphasize. If you join us and you're with the dev circle, this is a mistake that I made. I don't know, maybe other folks might not make it, and for me, it wasn't clear for whatever reason. Normally, when you are on GitHub, right? Normally, what you do, like for instance, let me just go back to my own profile. A lot of these repos right here are not my own. For instance, this is my own. Some of them are my own, but like many of them, I usually fork them, right? You fork them from like whichever, the repos right here. You fork them from whatever organizations, like for instance, this right here, Hybrid AGI. This is something for LLMs that I'm working on. But what the important point I'm making here is for Flask, you do not want to fork. You want to clone. I lost a lot of I lost a lot of time, and bless his heart, one of my colleagues, Gabe and Ron, actually, those are two of the senior dev circle members that were instrumental in helping me kind of just realize, hey, look, no, you're trying to do the right thing, but because forking, the changes you want to clone, because then the changes that you do on your local machine, you push them easily to the GH repo. And I'm trying to get to like my local folder here, my local directory in my own machine. So here it is. Okay, so that segues us into what do you then? Okay, so then you've successfully cloned the repo. How do you get started? How do you then kind of just do the work? VS Code is what I use. A lot of folks use VS Code. You might use another code editor. Certainly, that's it's a free world. But I believe VS Code tends to have a very good reputation, in general. So here we are. So I'm in VS Code, and I'm starting up. I'm going to my desktop to start up the Flask map cloned repo. Remember, I already cloned it, and here it is. I'm starting it up. Okay. So once you start it, you want to maybe just get the lay of the land, take a look around. You can do that both from GitHub before you fork the repo, and after you clone the repo, before you clone the repo. After you clone it, you can then do both. Like on GitHub, you can take a look around. one part that you will want to take a look at early on, and I believe this is right here. This is accessible publicly. Of course, we have security protections in there in terms of, like, for instance, pushing stuff and all that. But if you're a dev, if you're joining the group and you're a dev, you intend to be one of the dev circle members, right? To be a developer. These are the current issues right here. So you want to go here under the issues and just take a look at one, for instance. So many of these are assigned, but some of them are not. I'm clicking on the random issue right here. Okay, so like these are the tags on it. This is assigned to my colleague Tom. Okay, actually, let me just pull up my own ticket, the ticket that I'm working on right now myself. All right, so let's see here. How do I narrow that down? I go to assignee, and this is me, and this is the one ticket that I have. This is it. All right, developing an onboarding script, and this video is kind of like tied into this whole thing because what the intention here is, and this is my colleague Gabe is the one that see this. So this is how we do. We created the ticket, and this is the work that we've been doing on it, the discussions we've been having on it, kind of the progress little by little that I'm making with the ticket. Okay. So yeah. So all right. Going back to after you clone the repo, right? You then and then you go pick out a ticket, for instance, like one that's unassigned. Obviously, you also want to like get in touch with us. This is the intro video, so I'm going over so much in some of the time. But obviously, after you link up with the group on Slack, we'll talk, and we'll kind of just figure out. You'll get in touch with us. You ask us, hey, this ticket doesn't have anyone assigned to it. Is that really true? Maybe did y'all assign it and you did not do the update to it? And then we'll discuss that. And then you pick up a ticket, and voila, you get started. All right. I'm gonna just do a hard stop right here because I intended to end at like 10 minutes, but I believe I might have done double the time. I think I'm at maybe I don't know, like 15ish, maybe 20 minutes by now. So, but again, the intent of this video was to just very briefly go over how to get started with Flask. Like if you want to join the Flask group, what are we about? What is it? And how to get started with it. Let me just go over to where it first started. And just like in terms of like ending out. So I'm gonna post this video. Oh, the one last thing that I want to plug that's very important is today we have a hackathon. So let me pull up Slack again where I was just now. Let me just go ahead and close this window because I'm not using it anymore. We have a hackathon today. So if you feel like being spontaneous and you watch this video right on time, I'm gonna actually post this video on LinkedIn as well. If you feel like being spontaneous, where is the announcement? So here's the announcement right here. We have a hackathon, okay, and local time, all right? So like this clock right here is set to New York time, 8:35. Hackathon starts from, let's look at the announcement, from 9 p.m. I don't know if you can see this. Let me expand it a little bit. From 9 a.m., excuse me, to 5 p.m. So all day long, we're gonna be like hacking away, just doing a bunch of work, kind of like just like really putting in. Because what's going on is we're launching to version. I believe it's 1.5 or is it V2, okay? But we are upgrading the app is the point, okay? And so today, if you watch this, you feel inspired, you want to jump in, by all means, join us for the hackathon, okay? Let me just kind of minimize this. But yeah, so I hope this video has given you like a general rough good idea of what Flask is. You can join us, the work that we do, etc., etc. I look forward to seeing you all. Please feel free to reach out to me. My contacts on my YouTube channel and LinkedIn, Safe Sekalala. So let me just like pull up my LinkedIn right here. I tend to prefer LinkedIn, but like you can reach me any number of ways as well. My emails, my public emails are posted all over the place. GitHub, you can find me on there for sure. Okay, but you have questions, reach out to me. Better yet, reach out to the group, not me in particular, but to the Flask group. Okay, and for that, I closed out the window already. But like if you Google Code for Philly, and then eventually you make your way to the Flask web page, you can then these contacts for us in terms of getting in touch, and we can tell you all about it, and we'll link up here in Slack for you to get started. All right, so thank you so much for watching this video. I've tried to cover so much in so little time, but again, questions, please reach out, ask us. We welcome volunteers. We need you to help us kind of just keep sprucing up this awesome app. All right. Thank you so much. I'm gonna end it right here. Look forward to seeing you all with the group, and then I hope you'll come back to the channel for more videos like this. All right, have a blessed day now. Peace out.